Well, hello there, motherfuckers. Isn't it just so funny how right I was? Did I not say in last week's Raw review that Braun Strowman would not have a pivotal role at WrestleMania? Did I not say that he'd have an unimportant match? Go back and check my Raw review from last week. Did I not say last week that Elias would not even have a match at WrestleMania? That he would just be involved in a segment like last year with John Cena? He would get interrupted and it would be the old hee hee ha ha hey whoa, you know. And sure enough, that's what's announced. Two big charismatic stars, and Mania this year, they're not going to be doing jack shit. And, I mean, you could check, but all my Raw reviews leading up to right now, and I said it repeated times, and it's like, I'm not gloating that I'm right. I don't want to be right. I'd rather the product be unpredictable. I'd rather it be good. I don't want it to be bad. It might make the reviews funny and stuff like that. We might have a lot to talk about and make fun of, but I don't want to be right. I want to enjoy this product again. I want to be able to say I enjoyed Raw. I want to be able to say I enjoyed SmackDown. I want to say that I'm looking forward to WrestleMania, but I can't. I can't do that. Because I have to be honest, I can't be like JD and all the others and cater to everybody and say, oh, Ricochet is great. I love seeing a guy flip around 1,000 fucking times with no charisma. But I'm not going to do that. So let's get to the review and we'll talk about Braun Strowman. We'll talk about Elias. We'll talk about what transpired on this episode of Raw, because it wasn't good. It was more of the same, and it just showed that Mania is just not special anymore. It's all in the name. What's in the name? It's just the name WrestleMania. It's just a sign now. It's just a pay-per-view. It's not special anymore. It's lost the magic. Okay, when it comes around, I'm sure it's going to probably end up being the best pay-per-view of the year due to the pageantry and just the general importance and the historic nature of the event. But I'm saying, when you look back on classic WrestleManias, when you look back on WrestleMania 3, when you look back on WrestleMania 17, when you look back at WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 14, 15, 2000, you know, and 18, you know, it's like, there's just no comparison. Even to the recent years WrestleManias, the past 4 or 5 years, you just can't compare them anymore. They just don't feel the same. They don't have the same level of quality. They don't have the same level of importance. The build, none of it's there. Everyone's posting and looking back on Hulk Hogan and The Rock, you know, a match that people wanted to see. There's no matches that anybody wants to see on this pay-per-view. I'm not even excited to see Batista and Triple H. People are saying they're looking forward to seeing that. I've seen that already. I've seen that many years ago. They've had that match a dozen times. Just because they haven't had the match in 16, 17 years, I, you know, am not interested in seeing it. Okay, it's more like 12 years to be accurate, but even still, it's like, you know, I don't really necessarily want to see that match anymore. But let's get to the review and we'll discuss it, okay? So we start off with Brock Lesnar, and it's basically the same Paul Heyman promo. We've heard the promo 1,000 times. Here it is for 1,001 times. I mean, and once again, everyone's going to say it's the best promo ever. It's the promo of the night. It's the promo of the year. It's the promo to end all promos. And we see the same thing in every promo. We hear the same thing from Paul Heyman. I'm not saying that Paul Heyman is not a good talker. I'm not saying that Paul Heyman is not a good promo guy. But is the promo good? I've said this so many times. I mean, but I don't know how else to say it. Is the promo good if it's the same promo every single night? Like, if Stone Cold came out there and every week he cut the same promo on Raw and just changed around a few words, would it be good? If the context is the same thing and nothing really changed, is it really a good promo? Even if it was a good promo the first time it was cut. Even if it was a good promo the second time it was cut. The third, the fourth. But after the fucking 263rd time, and I'm not sure if that's an accurate number or not, is it really still a good promo? Or is it just a tiresome slog, a cookie cutter promo? To me, with Heyman's got all of that pull backstage and all that creative, you know, ness, I guess, creativeness that he's, you know, providing, it can't be that great. You know, I don't know how much influence he has backstage, but whatever the case may be, you would think that Heyman, you know, if he's able to take liberties in these promos, he's not doing anything. And it's always the same dramatic tone. It's like it's too over the top. It's too much already. And it might have been okay if he did it several times, maybe for a few years now. But, you know, we're coming pretty close to him doing this 8 years fucking straight, 7 years straight. I don't know what it is. But, like, that's way more years. Like, if it went past a year, if it went past a few months, it would even be too much. But this guy's been getting away with cutting the same promo, and people praise him for it. They're praising him for it. They're praising him for cutting the same promo. I mean, you know, if it was good, by all means, praise him. But when this is the level of quality that we're getting, where it's a repeat, why do I need to watch this promo? I could easily go back to 2012 during the summer and the build for Triple H, and I could probably hear the same fucking promo. Drew McIntyre comes out, says that Brock is going to need to find a new opponent, as in him, because he's going to, you know, beat Seth Rollins so bad. It's like, you know, okay, we all know that he's not going to find a new opponent, so it's pointless. Seth Rollins comes out, attacks him with a chair, and, you know, there you go. And then, you know, Seth Rollins jumps in the ring. Seth Rollins won't get in there. I mean, Brock Lesnar won't get in there, and, okay, you know, he's got a chair, I understand that, but, like, that's it for Brock. There's no physicality, no nothing like that. Like, honestly, I need to ask, like, what are they paying him for? It's not like anybody cares about Brock Lesnar being there anymore. You know, the Smarks are the only fans left. You know, Brock Lesnar being there and having Paul Heyman cut the same promo so we could praise it all the time. Is that what they think is going to draw in ratings? They all know that Brock's not going to wrestle. They know that he's not going to speak. It's the same thing. Brock's just going to stay, you know, stand there. Somebody will run into the ring. Paul Heyman's going to say, oh, you're not going to get paid for this. And then the segment's going to end. Maybe, and on the off chance, somebody might get F5. So it's the same thing. It's the same story every single time for every single build with the match. So it's like, do they really think that this shit is going to, like, draw any numbers or ratings? Because it's not. So it's like, why do they even bother anymore? I mean, honestly, like, is it really worth the money that they pay Brock to be there? When, you know, they pretty much would be doing the same number. Why does it matter if the rating goes up for 1 week when it's going to go right back down? Braun Strowman and Finn Balor defeat Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. You know, it's like, the sad thing here is that Finn Balor is probably going to have a match at Mania against Lashley, and Braun Strowman is going to be stuck in the fucking, in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's what Braun's, okay, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's just so funny. So anyway, you know, Braun gets the win here. I mean, like, what was the point of just having Lashley and Leo lose here? Like, what is it? What favors is this doing for anybody? Like, honestly, like, why are we booking this match? What are we trying to say here? You know, it's like, why are Balor even and Braun? Why would Braun? I never got this thing. Like, why do they always do this tag team? Like, Braun respects Balor, like it's gonna put him over or something. Like, the point has come where we need to just say already, like, just enough with the Balor shit already. You know, it's like, okay, you want to commit to this guy, commit to him already. But to stop and to go already and everything, it's like, you know, I'm sick of watching it already. It's like 1 minute they want to be in love with Balor, the next minute they don't give a shit about him. He's a tag team guy. He's, they wanted to do the Shawn Michaels Diesel routine, and then, the next week, he's a champion. The next week, he's a jobber. They want to make him really strong one week, then he just loses the title like he's nothing the next week. Like, what is the plan here with Balor? They made him the first ever Universal Champ. I thought they finally realized that they fucked up when he came back, that they should have never done that. But then they booked, like, Brock Lesnar and Balor, and they almost have Balor beat Lesnar. And then they, like, have completely removed the demon thing. I highly suggest that if they're going to use the demon character, do so at Mania. It's even being rumored. But really, at this point, like I said, all I see is a bland guy with face paint on at this point. So, I mean, it'll make it feel a little bit more special at Mania. But I don't even really give a shit. This is just such a fucking waste at this point with Strowman and Lashley. Ronda Rousey arrives at the arena with Travis Brown with her husband. All of a sudden, they want to start using this guy out of the clear blue sky. They've appointed security to, like, follow her around, which doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, 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 I've never seen this before. Like, the security is gonna just follow her around. Like, okay, I've never seen that done before. Like, meanwhile, they're not gonna be watching anything else. Their eyes are just gonna be on Rousey the whole fucking time. Like, and I don't even understand, like, what did she do last week? She beat up Dana Brooke. That's what was so fucking outrageous. Oh my god, she's out of control. I mean, like, when she beat up Becky Lynch and she went nuts with Stephanie out there, then I could kind of see it. But it's like some weird thing where they kind of meant to do this last week, but all of a sudden, like, Dana Brooke, like, raises all these red flags. Like, you pick on the jobber and that's the last straw. Then we have Alexa Bliss with the Moment of Bliss, and, like, I don't know, these shows, this talk show segment is cringeworthy every single fucking week. You guys know that I like Alexa Bliss a lot, but, I don't know what the deal is with her. She's injured, she's not injured, I don't know what the deal is. I feel like she's not out of the woods yet when it comes to that injury. I still feel like she very much might be very injury prone, because if you notice, like, she just did a tag match for the tag tournament. They said she was cleared, and then, like, they ripped her right out right away. Like, I don't know if, like, something happened. She was in pain. She maybe got headaches or something. I don't know. Or maybe she got another concussion and they're keeping that under wraps. I don't know what it is. I haven't read anything. If you know about it, put it down in the comments. But, it's just like, they seem like they're keeping her on this show, and they're going to make her the host at Mania. It's just crazy. It's like she was one of the headliners for the women last year, and now this year she's just, like, going to be a host. Which is just, like, basically, like, not doing anything. Basically, they're going to put her in some, like, goofy segments, and that's about it. So, they kind of play off of, like, Elias always gets interrupted, and the Moment of Bliss always gets interrupted each week. So now he's on the Moment of Bliss. Ha ha, he he. It's like jokes like that. I mean, like, is it supposed to be funny? They really must be, like, laughing it up backstage when they write this shit, these goofball writers. He gets interrupted, and so does Alexa Bliss. It's ridiculous. Then the, what are their names? Otis and the other guy from Heavy Machinery, they come out to the conga line to No Way Jose's goofballs. They come out, and Bliss was like, oh, you're supposed to, come out afterwards. And, you've got Elias getting face-to-face with Otis. Then some guy in a mask comes from behind and attacks Elias, and it's No Way Jose. Then Elias has a match with No Way Jose, and he beats him clean. Like, I don't get this. They always seem to have this thing with No Way Jose, like he comes out of nowhere, like every, like, couple of months, and then he just loses. Like, and Elias announces on here that he's going to just be doing a musical, he's going to be the main musical performance. Oh, I guess he wasn't the main musical performance last year, so that's an upgrade. But just like I said, The guy is going to just, he's not going to have a match. He's one of the most charismatic guys on the show, gets one of the biggest reactions, or he was getting the biggest reaction at this point. But I mean, like, I don't even understand this. Like, WWE saw how much heat this guy had when he was out there with Kevin Owens. And then they're just like, what they thought to do was, you know, let's just, like, fucking make this guy into a joke. You know, having him out there with the Lucha House Party, having him out there right now, you know, goofing around with No Way Jose. Like, this is how you use this guy. Like, the guy looks like a star. He sounds like a star. He has all the tools, which, if this was years ago, this guy probably would have already been an Intercontinental Champion. He would have been a U.S. Champion. He would have been fighting for world titles. But nowadays, oh, you're a jobber, or, you know, we're just going to put you on the lowest rung. Like, if you notice, like, Elias doesn't really lose a lot, but they just put him in a role where he might as well. Like, I mean, like, I don't really even see the difference between him and someone like Jinder Mahal, who we will talk about in a little bit. But as I said, I told you guys that he was not going to have a pivotal role at Mania, and sure enough, he's the main musical act. You know, only WWE could take a star like this. It's like, at least I will say this about Impact Wrestling. At least they realize who the stars are. At least the people who look like stars are in title matches and they use those people. At least they do that. Here in WWE, it's like, you know, it's a joke. And I said, you know, I said it in my comments. I think it was last week or whatever. I'm watching Glenn Gilberti, Disco Inferno, on Impact Wrestling. And I'm laughing it up as he's wrestling this Japanese guy. And it's probably like the match I'm watching, him versus whatever his name was, Kotako or whatever the fuck, the guy with the mask. It was probably one of the most well-wrestled matches I had seen all fucking year. Probably like my favorite match. It was more than anything I enjoyed on Fastlane, for fuck's sakes. I mean, man, I mean, like, Glenn Gilberti, a 50-year-old guy, putting in a better performance than 3/4 of the fucking roster. I mean, that's not their fault, but all I'm saying is, like, you know, they set the table for an enjoyable match and some enjoyable segments, you know. Glenn Gilberti searching for Don Callis the previous week. I mean, it's better TV than all fucking 3 hours of Raw. Better than, give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. Give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. I mean, like, that nonsense. And all Glenn Gilberti had to do was approach some guys from behind and say, is AEW hiring any more vice presidents? And he didn't have to blow out his lungs yelling as loud as he could to be entertaining. Kurt Angle is on his farewell tour. And guess what? Just as it was said, and speaking of Glenn Gilberti, he actually called this on Vince Russo's podcast when he said that Kurt Angle is not going to be facing John Cena. He's not going to be facing The Undertaker. He's going to be facing Baron Corbin. And sure enough, who does Kurt Angle pick? Baron Corbin. And even the way how he cuts this promo, they make him happy-go-lucky. Like, you damn well know that they made him say this. I want to thank the McMahon family, you know, for granting me this opportunity. Thanking the McMahon family. You mean Stephanie McMahon? The same woman who was out there and, you know, cut off your balls every single week, you know, demasculating you emasculating you every single fucking week, every step of the fucking way. That's, you know, oh, thanks for that. Such, you know, I'm looking on my YouTube page before I did this video. I'm seeing the top 5 moments. Once again, Impact Wrestling. At least when Impact had Kurt Angle, they treated him like a star. He was always in the main event. They gave him the world title like 10 fucking times. The guy was always at the top. He was treated like a star. They made like he was the main star. Mike Tenay and Don West would sing his praises. They knew they had their hands on a legend. And I'm talking about back in 2006. They knew what they had on their hands. And they used this guy for every single fucking year that they had like he was a star. And WWE, they treated this guy like he was a fucking mid-carder. They treated this guy like he was nothing. I mean, like almost like this guy didn't main event WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Almost like this guy wasn't, wrestling Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 20. Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21, wrestling all these big marquee fucking matches, these classic matches. After the Stone Cold Rock era, this guy grabbed WWE by the balls and gave John Cena excellent feuds. That's why people were calling for it. I'm not saying, but like, I mean, if it was going to be his last run, they should have had Angle win the Rumble. Maybe have him lose to Brock Lesnar in the main event after like a hard-fought fucking match. Now, that would make sense. After a hard-fought match. Maybe like Brock could put him in the Brock Lock or whatever. Or the Kimura. And Angle could just pass out or something like that. It would have been excellent. It could have, that would have made Mania exciting. Can you imagine if they really put all their efforts and actually tried to give Angle a good retirement storyline? Now he doesn't even have a storyline. Angle comes out there. It's his farewell tour. Who's he wrestling? Chad Gable. A guy that looks up to him. A guy who's modeled his career after Kurt Angle. I'm not a big Gable fan because he sounds like, but you get the point. If the guy maybe went like to a speech therapist and they had him lose the wine and shit like that, the guy's a good athlete. He's in good shape. He doesn't really look like a star, but, they could have had the guy take him under his wing. He could have been Jason Jordan #2. We could have been like, oh, on second thought, the DNA test got mixed up and actually Chad Gable's my son, not Jason Jordan. I don't know. But instead he's just having a basic match here and he beats Chad Gable like he's a sack of garbage. Whatever, Angle got a strong win here. Sasha Banks and Bayley cut some cringeworthy fucking promo. All of a sudden, they're heels. 1 week they're goody two-shoes. Now they're heels again. So, Bayley did a heel turn. Sasha did a heel turn. They make up. Now they're heels together out of the clear blue fucking sky. They're arguing with Beth Phoenix. She's coming out of retirement. They have a match. That's Natalya and Sasha Banks. All of a sudden, Nia Jax appears on the entrance ramp, and Tamina blindsides everybody. She runs away in typical chicken shit heel fashion. And, once again, Ronda, Nia Jax rolling her eyes like she's on the line at Starbucks. Oh, my God. Oh, God. So much cringe, so little time. I mean, so now it's going to be, she says, see you at Mania. So I guess magically it's a triple threat fucking tag match. I called it, didn't I? They're going to pile all these fucking teams into one match. Beth Phoenix is going to be lost in the shuffle. Like, she's going to make a return. Not like, where you could clearly see her. Now they're going to just mix everybody in. She's probably going to get like 2 minutes of ring time. What's next? They finally remembered that Mojo Rawley... they had a thing lined up for him. Remember, he was cutting promos in the mirror, and when they showed that this week, and it's like, I'm all for Mojo. I think the guy, looks good. I think I could believe this guy being a big star, or somewhat believable threat in the mid card, but we all know how this goes. He's just a guy cutting a promo in the mirror, and really, honestly, in 2019, are we really, filming this guy talking in the mirror and he thinks he's talking to himself, but he's being filmed? I just expect way more from 2019. I don't expect a lot from WWE, but I would expect a lot more from a product that's in such an advanced year. Honestly, what year do they think this is where people are just going to sit here and be like, wow, this is great entertainment? I mean, really? This is all they could think of? Why not have him come out in the ring and beat some people's asses or something like that instead of just talking into a mirror? Then up next, we have Ricochet defeating Jinder Mahal. And this guy's just doing fucking flips. He's no-selling everything. He's just, doing every single fucking move as a flip. And I'm reading Wade Keller's review of Raw, and he's like, "Oh, this is a good role for Jinder Mahal." And meanwhile, through the whole thing, Corey Graves is like, Jinder Mahal is a former WWE champion, and Ricochet, this little small fucking dude who like, he's so tiny, and all he's doing is just these flips. There's no real wrestling in here. There's no psychology. I mean, even Finn Balor takes a breath every now and again. You know, when he's not... Finn Balor really isn't, like, all flips. What does he do? He does the somersault plancha, but, you know, for the most part, it's a lot of drop kicks and stuff like that. It's not like the guy is, like, all over the place. But, you know, like, I'm just saying, this guy just... you know, it's just a stunt man, is basically what it is. He's just flipping all over the fucking place. And Jinder Mahal's in there looking like $1,000. You follow this guy on Instagram, he works out in the fucking gym like a maniac. And I don't know what it is, if he pissed somebody off, if he's in the doghouse, whatever it is. This guy works really hard just so he could lose to a little fucking schmuck like this. It's ridiculous. And Keller's like, "Oh, this is a great role for Jinder." Why? Because you don't like him? Because, you know, Ricochet wrestled 10 years in Japan? You know, like, honestly, this is, you know, the guy, like, and he's like, "Oh, look into that reception that Ricochet got." Like, what reception did he get? Like, is it a good reception? No, I didn't really hear anything so significant from the crowd. Like, I didn't really hear a big time reaction like, "Oh, wow, this guy is like the crowd popped for a flip." They're not popping for him. They're popping because, you know, it looked good. He did like a good move. But like I'm saying, when everyone is doing these fucking flips, and everyone does the same thing, even the guy challenging Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, does some of these moves. When everyone does them, does this style really feel fresh? Does it really feel exciting anymore? No, because everyone does it. Even Aleister Black, even a bigger guy like that, does them. And once again, like, Aleister Black is not there. What is the thing with all these wrestlers always missing the dates? Like, back in the day, once in a while, like, a wrestler might miss a show. But now it's like, it seems like every other week, some person's got a prior commitment or something like that. This is Aleister Black we're talking about. It's not like, you know, we're not talking about Batista. We're not talking about The Rock. We're not talking about some big-time star. We're talking about Aleister Black, a guy who for months was just in NXT. No one even knows who he is. But, you know, just to see Ricochet, like, going over a guy like Jinder, it's just, I don't see how this just sits well with people. Just people see this and they're just like, okay, you know, this is the way how it should be. It's not even believable that a guy like this would be able to keep on, basically kick Jinder Mahal's ass. When it should really be, if Jinder got a hold of this guy, I guarantee you he hits him once in real life, he ain't fucking moving. I mean, Ricochet's a tiny guy. Jinder's pretty fucking massive. Then we have Ronda Rousey defeating Dana Brooke. And, you know, I read on the dirt sheets what happened. Dana Brooke ran her mouth on Twitter. You could clearly see it. You know, she said that she doesn't have any opportunity, so they had her come out there. I was looking at the armbar that Ronda was applying on her. That wasn't no Miz armbar. This, Shane McMahon's armbar, that triangle choke, she was really bending her wrist back. Like, I think the rumors are true. I think they told her to go out there and fuck her up, to have her, tell her to shut up and stop complaining. I mean, they beat her ass down. Then she leaves with Travis through the crowd. I don't even understand that. Like, so she enters the arena with Travis, and instead of him being like ringside or doing commentary, he just goes behind the barricade. I've never seen that before, like when someone shows up at the arena and they immediately just go into the audience. I've never seen that before. Anyway, you know, where was Becky? Where was Charlotte? What, like, why is this the build? Like, Ronda's in this match too, but I guess Charlotte and Becky are just going to be doing their own thing on SmackDown, and all of a sudden they're just going to show up in the match at Mania. Like, how do you have 3 hours here and you don't do anything with Becky. Look, I mean, I'm not asking for cringy Lynch. Trust me. After seeing that Stone Cold imitation video, I've had just about enough of her that I could stand. And by the way, if you haven't checked that out, go check out my reaction video to when Becky Lynch did the Austin 316 copycat promo. They posted it on YouTube. If you're not going to watch my video, at least watch the one that they have on YouTube. It's downright embarrassing. Then we had Apollo Crews defeating Baron Corbin. So Baron Corbin, you know, he came out to cut a promo on Angle before. I didn't mention it, whatever. Nothing really to report there, but Corbin comes out for this match against Apollo Crews, and Crews beats him with a small package. And I'm like, this is the guy that Angle's going to be wrestling in his retirement match against. And he just beat him like that? So it's like Apollo Crews just beats him. This lowly jobber beats Corbin. Like, this is the elite guy. Kurt Angle, the multi-time WWE champion, the world heavyweight champion. This guy, you know, main eventing how many WrestleManias and other big events and SummerSlams and things along those lines. This guy's a huge star. No, you know, a household name. And they're gonna, this is the last opponent. Okay, it's Corbin, I get it. They've had a big feud, you know, they've been feuding for a while now. It kind of makes sense. For Angle's retirement, I think it's disgraceful, but whatever. I could understand the argument of why they might pick Corbin. But what I will not understand is that if you're going to have Baron Corbin be the big bully that Kurt Angle is going to have to topple, and it's going to be the feel-good story, he's going to beat Corbin, who made him look like a fool so many times and made him look like a loser. Okay, fine. Tell that story as poor as you're telling it. But at least make Corbin look strong. At least make Corbin look like a bully. At least have him look like he's at the top of the world. So when Angle beats him for his retirement, it means something. Congratulations. You just had fucking Apollo Crews, a lowly fucking jobber, beat Baron Corbin. Now, when Angle wins, it means fucking nothing. I'm just saying, it's truly amazing that every single thing this company does, they fuck it up in some way. I mean, it was bad enough that they're making Angle retire. It's bad enough that they have the guy announce his retirement without even a match plan. They probably didn't even have Corbin in mind, or else he would have just said it last week. All of a sudden, he just announces it out of the clear blue fucking sky. And you know, it's like they needed some time. Like, is this really what we want to do? Yeah, that's what they chose to do. So they picked Corbin, and this is what happened. So now it's a worthless match. So it's like, don't they stop themselves and see this progression and where it's going? I mean, it's like they already have a train wreck on their hands. And then while the train wreck is still on the tracks, they run another fucking train. Now, why would you do that? Because you already know that that train's going to collide with the other train and result in another train wreck. And that's the way that WWE operates. Multiple train wrecks. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I would have to think that they're downright fucking stupid to come up with something like that. I mean, I think that you got to actually be really talented to come up with something that bad. I mean, it's almost like they're like, hold my beer every single fucking week. Because it was already bad, now they made it worse. And they do this on a consistent basis. So for all the times I knocked them for continuity, at least they have that sense of continuity. That they just know to fuck things up. They do it better than anybody else. And then we have Batista's promo. And I will say this. It was a better promo than Give Me What I Want from last week. Way better than that shit. At least it wasn't laughably bad. But Batista was like fired up last week. Now all of a sudden it's like they told him to tone it back. They realized that people were laughing at it. So now he's like really laid back to the part where it looks almost like he had a sedative or something like that. I don't know, because he was just like way too calm. And then Michael Cole then like asked him, like, you know, does this go back before, you know, does this go back to Evolution? And then he says, no, this goes back to when he was grooming me to be his muscle. So wasn't that when he was in Evolution? Whatever the case may be, I don't even get it. But, you know, he talks bad about Triple H. And then Michael Cole says, oh, you know, but, you know, Triple H, he's done so much for me personally and done so much for the people in NXT. Like, stop right there. I don't know what's going on, but this is the second fucking time they've done this in the same night. What's the deal here? Kurt Angle, oh, thanks to the McMahon family. Michael Cole, thanks to the McMahon. Did like Vince McMahon have to feed that into his ear? And the angle was like, the camera was like so close in Michael Cole's face. That's way closer than I ever want to get to fucking Michael Cole. I mean, like Michael Cole has like the face of a ferret. I don't know, but like I despise this guy. And I'm one of the few people that would actually say that I actually liked Michael Cole. When he was commentating with Taz, he was good. When he was commentating with JBL back in 06, he was doing a decent job. He sure as hell wasn't JR. He sure as hell wasn't anywhere close to him. But whatever. I mean, it was a decent SmackDown team. And then when he went heel in 2010, 2011, I was really enjoying his performance. He worked better as a heel. I thought it was a good experiment. I liked McMahon for doing that. People complained and said he was annoying, but that was the point, and I think he was doing it effectively. Michael Cole is pretty dislikable, so I liked that he was playing who he was. And I did enjoy it. I actually go back sometimes and I watch Michael Cole, and I like watching the pay-per-views and shows from 2011, not because it was an amazing oh my god year, but because Michael Cole was fucking hilarious during that time. He really made me laugh out loud multiple times. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I really enjoyed the heel run. But this promo, like, what was the deal there? They made Angle praise the McMahon family and then have Michael Cole praising Triple H. It was like, oh, thank you, holy overlords, for, you know, like, they shouldn't be thanking these guys for fucking anything. Thank you for making this product unbearable to watch. Thank you for, you know, making sure that wrestling never gets another boom period thanks to your let's globalize the company bullshit. I mean, if anything, like, this is the time to bash these McMahons. Bash Triple H for, you know, making these wrestlers into fucking wussies. Oh, let me give you a hug for winning the title. I mean, like, does Triple H remember that he was trained by Killer fucking Kowalski? I mean, does this guy not realize that he was trained by one of the most vicious, stiffest, and most legit wrestlers of all time? Killer Kowalski earned his fucking name. And now all of a sudden it's all about, oh, you know, let me pat you on the head. Good job there, indie worker. It's funny when he says Guardians of the indie scene, when he's like probably the biggest mark. Like Triple H, it's really funny. He's probably the biggest smark out of there. He's like a big Ricochet fan. I mean, like, this guy's a big Finn Balor fan. The ladies love him. No, Triple H, I think you love him more than you love your wife. I'll be quite honest. It's because it's not like this guy's like putting any asses in seats. This was just a fucking bizarre ass promo. They asked Batista, you know, why did you come back? He says all the success, you know, and all he wanted to do was wrestle Triple H. Like, why would he want to come back to wrestle Triple H? As they said, Triple H has never beat him. So why does he have to come back? What does he have to prove? There's nothing really to this story. He would leave Hollywood just so he could wrestle a fake fucking match? Does any, like, I understand, like, oh, stop saying the word fake. Listen, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. The guy's coming back to wrestle him for a match. Like, he's on the set making millions of dollars in Guardians of the Galaxy. And like, oh, I can't wait to put my body on the line in the fucking wrestling match for no reason with no story. This is why I was saying, people were saying, best Raw in years when he attacked Ric Flair. I was like, get out of here. Fuck out of here with that shit. I'm not liking this. And I didn't like it for that reason. Then Braun Strowman is backstage, and he announces that he's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, guys, I called it just like with Elias. I talked about it at the beginning of the review. Holy fucking shit. I mean, this guy, he started off the year in he was going to be put in a world title match with Lesnar. They canceled that shit. And, you know, like all last year, he's wrestling Roman in the Hell in the Cell. And now, like, isn't this match on the pre-show? Maybe they'll move it to the main card because they got nothing else. But you're not even going to give the guy his own match at Mania. You dedicate so much time to this guy, make him flip over 1,000 fucking vehicles, and do all these overused feats of strength. And then we get an appearance in the Battle Royal. Really? Like, I mean, honestly, like, didn't he win that Battle Royal in the Middle East? What is the point of having him go and win the Andre the Giant? Is this going to do anything for him? By him winning this match, what does it do for him? I mean, if he's already been in world title matches, what is the point of having him win this match? Alexa Bliss is like telling him about, you know, the Saturday Night Live guys, and like, this is what it's going to be. They're going to waste Strowman in some lame-ass battle royal that doesn't mean anything. And he's going to be goofing around with those two morons backstage from SNL. And then in the main event, we get Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins. There's a distraction from Brock Lesnar. And then Drew hits him with the kick. And that's about it. You know, that's the end of the show. So, you know, they beat Rollins here. It's like, honestly, like, beat all these people before Mania when you want them to all have momentum. I mean, this is just a fucking joke. It really is. Like, I'm looking at all this shit. Braun Strowman, Elias, Kurt Angle, praising Triple H. I mean, like, it's enough already. The show was just, like, nauseating to fucking watch. It was unbearable. Unfucking bearable to watch. I mean, it really was just the most pathetic fucking thing I've ever seen. And this is supposed to be Mania season? Guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. And if you did, please leave a comment down below. And please subscribe and click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. Guys, this has been your YWC champ. And I'm signing out.